Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists that it is completely possible to have a great career in the arts. And if you ever want to tune in and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just check out the schedule over at facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Mural Master Program inside of the Artist Academy Advanced membership. This program is specifically designed to help you with every step of the mural process, from coming up with an idea to finding a wall to paint it on to pitching your ideas to businesses, and finally, of course, I teach you exactly how to paint large scale. Murals are a lot of fun and a great way to grow your art business. I know, because it has been one of the top ways that I've been able to grow my own art business as quickly as I have. With several years of experience as a muralist, I've dialed down the painting techniques, the proposals, the pitching, the whole bit. And now I've compiled it into one resource for you called the Mural Master Program. This is included inside of the Artist Academy Advanced membership, and I would love to invite you to join us by going to artistacademy.co, that is artistacademy.co, and click the link to see the Mural Master Program and learn more. And that's it, so let's get on with the show. Hello, it's me again. I have had a very busy day, very busy couple weeks, and before we get into this week's subject of a rush fee or a rush charge or charging someone extra to rush their project, basically, I want to tell you about my day because it goes with what I'm about to say. Okay. So today, is a little look into my calendar of a day in the life. So today I woke up and I drove to Branson. So I live in Springfield, Missouri, and Branson is about an hour away maybe. And I drove there and painted a distressed logo. And I was about to make a joke about like how the logo was in distress and wasn't happy or something, but I'll skip that. So I painted a distressed logo, so like an antique looking logo, like it looks like it's really weathered. I painted a logo in Branson in the morning, and so got done with that and at about 1 o'clock, and then drove to Ozark, Missouri, which is kind of like Ozark, like the Netflix show, kind of, but not really at all. But same spelling, Ozark, Missouri. So then drove to Ozark, and I painted 6 sets of windows, and got that done in about 2 hours, and I went live during that time as well, and in the Artist Academy Advanced group, and showed them how to do some really quick windows with window paint, and it was like a winter wonderland scene, and it was awesome. Okay, and so after that, I drove back into Springfield, which is where I live, and I went to an engineering firm that I have been doing a giant mural for, and that is Run Over, and I finished their mural for them, and that is finally done. So I finished 3 projects today, and I feel so accomplished, even though 2 of them I had started before. So the logo this morning, I had projected it a couple nights ago, and the other mural for the engineering company was many days in the making. But I finished 3 things today, and I'm so excited about it. So it was a very long day. And any day where I make over $1,000 is a really long day for me. It was like a 12-hour day or so, but still worth it because I like money. And even though not every day is going to be like this, some days are. And it was like this because I had a customer contact me in the past couple weeks, and he wanted his logo painted, hence that logo that I did in Branson that you now have a backstory of. And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm booked out past Christmas. Could you do the beginning of January? And he was like, no, well, we're opening our store in 2 weeks. Could you really do it? And I was like, okay, well, for $300 more, I will fit you in the next 30 days. And he said, great, sign me up. And I'm like, what? Because my quote I already gave him was about $1,000. I was like, hey, it's going to be $1,000 to do your full logo, with everything that he wanted. And so he was willing to pay an extra $300 to have that logo done soon. And so I got it done within about 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since he contacted me and we did all of that. So we got it done in 2 weeks and he was ecstatic. He doesn't even care. Like, business owners do not care about a little extra charge in order to get their stuff done well and on time, which is why I love painting for businesses, because they know the cost of doing business and they're willing to pay for quality and things that are on time. Most business owners, okay? Business owners that are not penny pinchers, which we do not want to work for those. We want to work for the ones that know our value and will pay for it. So that is one example of a rush charge that I have used lately. And so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the option of you putting a possible rush charge or a rush fee or whatever you want to call it on your art. And if before I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying in your head. You're like, okay, yeah, Andrea, but like, I'm not booked out until January. I can't do that. And for that, I want to say that if you are booked out for, 2 weeks, then you can put a rush charge on it if you want. If you're booked out for 30 days, then you could put a rush charge on it of a week. Whatever that is for you, that is up to you in your own business, or when you get a little bit busier, this might apply to you later on. However, I wanted to sit down and record this because the holidays are coming up and a lot of people are going to want things done right away. And this is a good chance, I think, for you to be compensated for the extra effort that you're about to put in. Because I know that I'm about to be, I'm already just booked, just crazy and busy, and I can barely breathe. But I am taking Sundays off. Like, every Sunday I'm taking off and I'm not touching a paintbrush. So I'm proud of myself because that was not last year's agenda. I did not take a day off during December or November last year. But I am this year. Anyway, so I hope you're not like that. I hope you are taking a day off, and I hope that you do allow for days off, even with this rush charge. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and talk about how it is benefiting me. And so there's another one that I'm about to do coming up. They contacted me about 2 weeks ago, and again, I was like, hey, this logo, so they wanted a logo inside of their office, and they're not opening or anything. From what I know, there's absolutely no reason that they should need a rush charge on this, so I was really surprised that they went for it. But it's this company that I had painted for before, whenever they opened their location a couple years ago. So again, they're not doing a grand opening or anything like the logo that I just did in Branson. And yeah, so I was like, yeah, I will be happy to fit you in January. How does that work for you? And then I just offer it. So that's how I go about it. I'm like, hi, like, this is when I have available, or this is the price of it. So basically how it went, just so you can hear like the lingo, I'll say, yes, I would love to do your logo. My first availability is the first week in January. This logo would cost about $700. Let me know if that works for you. Also, if you happen to be in a rush, I do offer a $300 rush charge to get things done earlier, and then I can get you done hopefully within the next couple weeks, but definitely in the next 30 days. And they went for it. They're like, okay, $1,000 sounds good. I'm like, man, okay. Well, that's great. And so I'm fitting them in, and to where a day where I would normally have a nice leisurely half day of work, I'm going to fit them in as well and just have like a 10, 12 hour day of work. And that's okay with me because, again, I like money. And I'm very money motivated because to me, money is freedom. And this is the time right now to be making it. Whereas, because I know in February and March, things are going to be a little bit slower, probably. And I also take off 2 months out of the year to travel to places like Africa and things like that. We're actually hopefully supposed to go to Bali in February. So hopefully they open their borders and everything is fine. But I keep that in mind whenever I'm taking on these extra projects. I'm like, okay, well, kind of have to make up for a little bit of like when I'm taking off the couple months out of the year that I do to go do absolutely nothing but have fun. And so it kind of helps make up for it. And I'm also not booking it on Sundays. I'm making sure that I have a Sunday off and booking every other day with that. Like, I don't like to work on a Saturday, but I will get out of bed on a Saturday for $1,000 for an easy day. Like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, no problem, thanks. It makes it a little bit easier. And I've asked around about this too, and I was talking to a couple people, and it kind of is like working overtime. So we are our own bosses. We work for ourselves, and I think a lot of the times we forget that we set our own rates and we can compensate ourselves for the hard work that we do. And so I think a rush charge is just a way to compensate yourself for working overtime. And I think a lot of the times too, like a lot of people during Christmas, especially coming up, which is why I got on here and I'm telling you guys about it now because it is the start of December now. And especially for Christmas, a lot of people are going to guilt trip us. If it's not, I know that you're getting it because I'm getting it too. People are like, well, my grandpa, this might be his last Christmas with us. And, I really want to get him a picture of his dog that he's had forever. Like, so I would say no to that and I would pass it along to an Artist Academy Advanced member. But I know that we all get these. And if you want to say yes, like we're humans and we are nice people and we want to say yes. And so adding on another rush charge makes it a little bit easier to say yes. And it makes your time worth a little bit more to be spending those extra hours when you could be spending those, with your family or resting or all of that. But I think if there's any time to maybe accept some more work for higher amount, like a rush charge, it is around the fourth quarter or inside the fourth quarter, especially in December. And I also Googled to kind of help back myself up on this, make sure I wasn't the only one charging people extra for inconveniencing myself. And I looked it up and they say you can charge 25% over what the price is already. And so when I look that up, I'm pretty sure they're referring to like construction workers, people who make things that are not necessarily art, but basically we're all in the same, boat. We're all business owners that make things and we all set our own rates. And even though I think this article was talking about like construction type of things, like making furniture and all of that I read, I think it applies to literally anyone. So they were saying that you could do 25% over the amount. So, I personally think adding like double the amount is a bit too much, but so 25% sounds about right. So if you're doing the math, I was doing, $300 of 700. Well, I guess that's 50%, almost 50%. So that's like 45%. Okay. And so I also did an extra $300 on my $1,000 job. And that was an extra like 30% right in there. So right around that 25 mark, but whatever you want to do, 25% to 40%, I don't know, to 50%, heck, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'd say 100% might be a little overboard. I'm just going to say that one. But so people are willing to do it, and I think it would be a really great thing for you to do. And so that way you're not bogging yourself down with all these crazy things and getting paid, your normal rate. That way it makes it easier to wake up on the weekend on a Saturday when you're getting paid the big bucks. Oh, and when I was researching this a bit, I saw this quote that I think can really help you just feel okay with charging more and, not make you feel as greedy about this and just, everything. So this quote goes, pricing your services isn't just about the money you want to make. It's about the quality of life you want for yourself and or the people around you. So you're sacrificing a little bit of the quality of life. You're going to be tired. I'm tired. I came home after, a 12-hour day and now I am recording a podcast. So I obviously don't know when to stop, but we're about to have a break. So that's okay. I'm about to rest, but it is, so, you're pricing yourself above what it would normally be because it is a little bit of quality of life sacrifice that you're making. So I hope that takes a little bit of the burden off of your shoulders. And if anybody comes at you, because I know that a lot of people are like, well, I'm afraid people are going to question my prices, and that this way it gives you something to say, or it gives you, just a stance to take. If anybody questions your stuff, be like, well, like this, I'm going to be losing sleep to do this for you. And sleep means a lot to me, and and so I hope that helps, and I hope you guys make a little bit of extra bucks during the fourth quarter. And that's all I have for you this week. This is a super short little interview, not interview, but little episode. I am going to go back to doing more interviews. I know we've done a couple solo shows here in the recent couple weeks because I have been insanely busy it's been really hard to fit in interviews as well, but I'm going to get back to them, and next week we will have an interview with an awesome artist. So I hope you guys like these tips. If you do like them, and if if somebody profits a little bit more from listening to this and giving it to a customer, and it works out for both of you, please let me know. Let me know on Instagram. It's like, hey, I listened to your episode and I used this and it worked. It literally makes my day, because sometimes people do that. Sometimes when people are like, hey, I listened to your algorithm episode and then I did this and then I got a client, and it makes it worth it for me to come, after a 12-hour day and sit down and record a quick little 20-minute podcast for you, which I love doing. I don't know why. I just feel this like weird calling almost, if you want to be as spiritual as you want with that, but I just feel this weird pull to come and sit down with a mic whenever I have something to say, because I really think that it can help at least 1 or 2 or 10 people out there. So I hope this helps. Have a great week. I will see you next week. This episode is sponsored by the Mural Master Program inside of the Artist Academy Advanced membership. This program is specifically designed to help you with every step of the mural process, from coming up with an idea to finding a wall to paint it on to pitching your ideas to businesses, and finally, of course, I teach you exactly how to paint large scale. Murals are a lot of fun and a great way to grow your art business. I know, because it has been one of the top ways that I've been able to grow my own art business as quickly as I have. With several years of experience as a muralist, I've dialed down the painting techniques, the proposals, the pitching, the whole bit. And now I've compiled it into one resource for you called the Mural Master Program. This is included inside of the Artist Academy Advanced membership, and I would love to invite you to join us by going to artistacademy.co, that is artistacademy.co, and click the link to see the Mural Master Program and learn more. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. If you review our podcast and send a screenshot of that review to me on Instagram, I am Art by Andrea Earhart. I will gladly share your art on my Instagram story with a reach of over 60,000 as a thank you for helping us grow this Artist Academy community. And speaking of community, if you would like to be a part of our absolutely free and very encouraging community on social media, just head over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy, and I will see you next week.